Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Zaphod. And today we're going to be making some hot shit. This is my food processor. It's new. I just got it. That's why you haven't seen it before on this show. It's got three modes. It's got low. It's not working. It's plugged in. Maybe because I don't have the lid on. Maybe it won't turn on without the lid on. Maybe it's like a safety feature or something. So let's put the lid on. And it's a little bit difficult to close, but you can get it if you try. And there we go. It's got low, it's got high, and then it's also got pulse mode. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to open it up. And the first thing we're going to be putting in here is sesame seeds. These are, I believe they're whole white sesame seeds. You can use unwhole if you want. You can roast them or you can leave them raw. For this episode, I'm just going to be leaving them raw. Straight, raw, whole sesame seeds. So, open up the bag, and there we go. I got tired of fighting with the knot, so we're just going to pour them in here. Now, I looked up on the internet how to make this. Just a heads up, we're doing tahini right now. And it said you need a mortar and pestle, but I don't have a mortar and pestle, and I bought this food presser because I wanted to make the end result for today from scratch. And so we're just going to use the food processor and see what happens. Can you make tahini in a food processor? That's what we're finding out right now. So turn that on low, and we're going to let that go. We're going to see what happens. I'm going to add some extra virgin olive oil. So remove this thing right here, and open this up, and pull off the cap thingy, like that. And pour it in here. Okay, so it's a couple minutes later, and it's kind of starting to get there. I don't think that you actually need a mortar and pestle. I think you can do this with a food processor, but it just probably takes maybe a little bit longer. I don't know. A mortar and pestle would be a completely manual process, so maybe this is actually faster. It's just not the way that it says to do it on the internet, but that's okay. This is Cooking with Zaphod. If we did everything the way that it said to do it on the internet, this wouldn't be Cooking with Zaphod. This would be Cooking with Google, and we ain't about that. Even though this is on YouTube, which is owned by Google. I'm not really sure how much I need, but my gut tells me that I need more than that, so I'm going to put this down, and we're going to add in some more sesame seed, just like so. I'm pretty happy with the amount of olive oil that we have in there currently, so we're doing this. Now, some people will just buy tahini, like pre-made, in a jar. I'm not doing that because I want to make it from scratch. That's really the only reason. It's just because I want to. That's why I'm making it from scratch. It's because I want to. And now you might think, oh, sesame seeds are really expensive. They're not if you ring it up as white rice. It's been a couple more minutes, and this is looking really smooth. I assume... it's also really warm. There's quite a bit of heat there, probably from the motor of this thing. But I'm going to give this a taste. Wow, it tastes like peanut butter. I guess sesame seeds are technically a nut, maybe. And so there's a peanut butter flavor. There's still a lot of grain from the seeds themselves because a lot of them didn't get chopped up. This is pretty thick and pretty chunky tahini. But I don't know. I'm okay with that. Next thing we're going to add, now that we have basically, this is tahini, we're going to add some chickpeas. Now you want to pop this open and open it part of the way, but not, you know what, I have two hands. Why aren't I using them both? You want to pop it open a little bit like that, and then you want to start to pull it open, and you want to basically drain out the liquid without draining out the chickpeas, because we're going to drain out the chickpeas into the food processor. But here we're just getting rid of the chickpea fluids. This is added water that they put in the chickpeas in order to increase the net weight that they can print on the side here. The net weight, 15.5 ounces. A fair amount of that, 15.5 ounces, is just water. So these chickpeas have soaked up a lot of water, and because of that, you end up paying more for less than if you just bought them dry in bulk. But hindsight is 2020, which is still a few months away, so I don't have to worry about it yet. So we're going to grab this, which smells kind of like tuna, honestly. I don't think I've ever opened a can of chickpeas before. Maybe I have, but you just want to pour them into here. I'm pouring in the whole can because I don't know how many I'm supposed to be using. And if you're savvy, you'll have caught on by now as to what we're making. This is the basic recipe for hummus because I really like hummus, and all of the hummus here is sarba. When I lived in a different place in Washington, the hummus was like, it was a small variety, but I really miss the giant variety of hummus that I had in Portland. I don't have that here. So we're making our own to see what it's like. Alright, now if I stop this, I don't really like how that's being so thick, so I'm going to add more extra virgin olive oil to help thin it out a bit, and that should hopefully help. Never mind the fact that it is steaming. I'm sure that is intended functionality of this particular food processor. So we're going to take this off to vent out some of the heat. One of the ingredients I want to add to the hummus is garlic. So what you want to do is you want to grab your garlic ball, which looks like this. It's like this, and you basically want to just like fuck it with your thumbs until you get these things. Once you get these things, you want to take the flat side of a knife and you just want to press it like that, and that'll help you remove this peel so that you can get to the interior juicy garlic bit. This is the part that the vampires don't like, so if they're coming at you, get your knife and your garlic ready, because you're going to be doing a lot of squashing. So it's very important to occasionally turn it off and open it up and look inside and see what it's like. And then what you want to do is you want to grab your red rubber spatula and you just kind of want to mix it a little bit, because while this is a food processor and its job in life is to mix things, sometimes it gets really concerned with mixing one piece of something and ignoring the rest of it. So we're helping it figure out that it needs to mix up everything. Okay, let me show you what we're dealing with here. We've got a shitload of olive oil in there because I just kept adding olive oil without thinking about it. And it's also still quite chunky. I wish that this were smoother. I wish that this would incorporate better into itself, but it's not doing that. So while I try and think of something to do, I'm going to start adding spices. Here we have onion powder. So you want to open this up. You want to pull off the shaker cap. And then you want to remove the freshness seal so that it'll never be fresh again. So no one else can steal your freshness. When you get fresh, you don't want anyone else getting fresh, if you know what I mean. And you just remove this, even if it's a pain in the ass to do, because they put these things on here like fucking assholes. Okay, you know what? I have a knife. Look, that did the job. Just like that. If you're British, you can now no longer follow along with this recipe, which sucks because as a British person, I'm sure that you must be around a lot of hummus. So, get your onion powder ready, and you sprinkle some in here. That might be too much onion powder. I don't really know how much onion powder is too much, but that's how much I put in there. And then, to spice it up a little bit, I'm going to add some paprika. So pop it open. Paprika your shit. That might be a little bit too much paprika. I don't really know. But right now this doesn't really taste like hummus. It's at least not as far as I'm used to it. So we're going to keep processing. Alright, so it automatically shut itself off. I think I think probably because it started getting really warm, and in fact, feeling the base, it is really warm. Now, you might be able to tell that there's still like a pool of olive oil in here, which is not necessarily great. So just kind of spitballing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to bring it over to the sink, and I'm going to try and pour out just some of the olive oil without getting rid of too much of the hummus mixture. Just like that. I think that that may have helped a bit. And then we're going to bring this back over here just so we got somewhere to put it down. And I think this is about as good as we're going to get it. Honestly, I think that it's not going to get much better than that. So it doesn't really have the texture of hummus. It's much, much chunkier. But if we taste some of it, it doesn't really taste like hummus either. But at the same time, it doesn't taste bad. Like this isn't a thing that I dislike. All right, I've got me a stick of celery right here. So we're gonna grab up some of this hummus, and we're gonna give it a go. It's not bad. It's pretty good. I do wish that it was smoother. I guess the solution to that is buy pre-made tahini, or get a mortar and pestle and grind the tahini properly instead of just putting it in a food processor. But it's not bad. I'll definitely eat this. I just wish it was smoother. That's really the only thing, the only complaint I have. But thank you for watching this episode of Cooking with Zaphod. And don't forget to share this video on worldstorehiphop.com. Thanks.